Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I'm just going to do a Solemn Remembrance comp weapon god roll guide. I know this is probably not like the biggest focus for a lot of people during the expansion. Most people are focused on the PvE, getting ready for the raid, but I think it'd be a good thing to show off the Solemn Remembrance god roll, so we can kind of, when the raid is done, we already know what is going to be the best for this hand cannon here. To start, obviously, because it is a precision frame, it's got crazy airborne effectiveness. So you just put a little bit more investment, and you can have some crazy in-air three taps. So there's one perk I think in this left column I think that's going to stand out the most, and that is Lone Wolf. Again, Lone Wolf at base, nice little 15 AE bonus, 62 base airborne effectiveness if you're alone, all the way up to 77. So I think that's probably the most interesting way to play into this, as well as it also gives a nice little aim assist boost as well. So um, your shots are a little bit easier to land, which is also really nice because this weapon has a little lower end on the lower bit of aim assist. So still like lower than like Rose or something, but 82 with like Lone Wolf is definitely respectable. And when you're alone, obviously jumping up to 88. Um, Now I think if we go in this right column here, I think I'd probably want to pair it with something like Keep Away because I think it's just the most valuable. One, obviously, you get a nice little range buff, you get a reload buff, and then you get a nice little accuracy boost. So I think being able to double up on these consistency perks is going to be really, really strong. Obviously, you could go with something like Slide Shot here. You could get like a Slide Shot Keep Away roll, but I think a lot of people already have like a Slide Shot Rose that they like. So if you're going to go for a weapon like this, you'd probably want it to be something a little bit more unique. And so I'd probably go with like a Lone Wolf Keep Away roll. Eye of the Storm is good. Really, it's really you really want Keep Away or Eye of the Storm. I think Keep Away I'd probably go just because the range buff is pretty irreplaceable, and this thing will be pretty accurate. So I don't know how. Obviously, Eye of the Storm will obviously be good, but will it be super necessary? I'm not quite sure. And obviously, because this weapon is a tier 5 enhanceable weapon, you can see this accurized round. This is the tier 5 upgraded barrel version, so 12 range right there, really nice. Um, Now, barrel wise, obviously, this weapon has a really low recoil direction. The way it recoils too, it can if it kicks to the left or the right, which it can do very often because it's 55 recoil direction, that can really throw off your shot because oftentimes, especially if you're on mouse and keyboard, um, when you're shooting, like the gun model will often block the reticle, so it's usually hard to see shots. So typically, I think having a more vertical recoil can make a really nice bit of a difference. I honestly think maybe arrowhead break or extended barrel could be really strong. Arrowhead break, obviously helping the weakness that it has, lower handling, and also gives a massive 30 recoil direction, making this thing a lot more predictable when you're shooting. Obviously, you're kind of losing out on the kind of range aspect of it. But if you go something like a range masterwork here, then you're at 65 range. And then maybe you go with the new enhanceable mods. You can go enhanced range for another 10 range. And then, oh, all of a sudden you have an enhanced keyway. Oh, you're at 87 range. So now you have a super accurate hand cannon with crazy recoil direction, good aim assist. And we still have the grip option here. We could go with some of these enhanced grips on the bottom. Maybe you want this thing to be a little bit more stable. Um, you could go with heavy grip, although again, you're kind of taking a hit to the handling. Maybe you could go with smooth grip for a nice little balance of both. You go with texture grip for a really nice bump in handling, but a little tiny hit to your stability. You go polymer grip for just straight handling. I personally think I'd probably want smooth grip here, just for the all-around nice chunk of stats. Um, but this is a pretty solid-looking hand cannon. The one thing I'd say again is the recoil direction is probably something you'd really want to prioritize, just because again, without like something like arrowhead or extended barrel, you're really stuck at that 55 base recoil direction, which is not like the greatest, obviously. So you could go for that. But if you even wanted to max the range, maybe you're not so worried about the recoil direction, maybe you're playing on controller, you could go with, I don't know, maybe like Hammer Forge for a plus 12, and then all of a sudden you're at like a 99 range hand cannon that is crazy aim assist, good crazy reload speed and accuracy from, keep away as well. And then you're really just like taking duels with like pulses and stuff. Obviously these hand cannons, these 140s, are not gonna be the greatest till the weapon stack gets changed, but when that inevitable change comes where it makes less of an impact on certain gun types, this hand cannon will certainly be one of the top kinetic options, especially with that tier 5 enhancement. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys have some good luck farming for the Solemn Remembrance. It is farmable, so you can just farm this thing as much as you want, so you can get as many rolls as you want just by playing comp and getting wins. So I hope you guys get some good luck. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time.